Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and doing 2 bedrooms in this home today. I just finished this one, pre-scrubbed with the hog's hair fiber pad, and then I used the Iron Man, and it was pretty dirty right in here, but it's come up really nicely. And I've got this bedroom over here. This has got quite a traffic lane over to the bathroom, and then over in that direction. I guess maybe there was a chair or maybe a desk sitting over here. Actually, there is a desk sitting there. But anyway, the furniture is moved out and the bed's taken out, etc. So anyway, and here we go. We'll drop it into the pad driver like that. Make sure I'm engaged. And away we go. I'm actually using a different pad driver than I've been using. This is actually the pad driver this machine comes with, and it's a very thin pad driver. Actually, it has no tufts on it. It has little tiny teeth, and it gives it a real responsive feel when using it. The one that I've been using actually had I'd taken one of the original pad drivers and I'd modified it, put a Malish Instalock pad driver on there, and it had about a 1/4 inch of foam in between, and it gave it a bit of a softer ride, but it was that's been on there for years, and the foam was starting to break down a little bit. So I peeled it off, and I'm going to be reattaching the Malish, the Instalock part to the my other pad driver I've been using. Just got to do a little rebuild of it, I guess you could say. Now there was it's over there. There's a stain under here. It's actually from a tomato, apparently. They've been storing tomatoes, and the guy had told my wife, "You know how you store your tomatoes under your bed to ripen them?" Like, no. But anyway, one of those funny stories. So anyway, we got a fairly obvious traffic lane. You can see I'm coming across it right now, up ahead of me here. You can see somebody's been going back and forth into this corner, I guess, for some reason. Oh, we have this looks like a furniture dye mark here. Let's see what happens with that. If it is furniture dye from the foot of the desk here, then it will be permanent. Anyway, this carpet is a few years old. The owner of the place didn't actually let me in. He wasn't available, but the neighbor let me in, and she told me that, I asked her, she told me that she thought the carpet was pretty old, so, which I guessed it was anyway. At least 10 years old. Now, just wanted to mention something. There's a few guys on YouTube who are always promoting the use of ammonia, and of course it is actually considered a toxic product and not something that as professionals we should really be using on any more than a very minimal basis in people's homes. If you go and just take a look up the concerns regarding it, you really would be wise to avoid using it. But so I thought, so there's a few guys that are saying how wonderful it is. So I was carrying it in my spotter kit for a few months, and I was using it, not all the time, but I'd pull it out and start using it on a few stains here and there, and just to see if I could get a feel for how well it worked. Now, on one job in particular, I was doing some furniture, and I used it, and I used on a stain which was about 2 inches wide and about 3 or 4 inches long. I let it soak, and it did actually take it out, and that was one time where it did work. But when I extracted it with my extractor, I could definitely smell the ammonia. And afterwards, the customer commented to me. She said, "Well, how could you stand cleaning with that odor?" It's like, and I had to apologize to her. It's like, "Oh, well, actually, I just took out a stain. I used ammonia. Sorry about that." And I could have got it out with other things as well, but I wanted to see if it would work. But it reminded me again of that even though we may be used to smelling something like that, and if you're using it all the time, you do get used to it. Customers aren't used to it, and so even if you use a little bit of it, and I've done a few spots here and there, and immediately I could smell it. It's like, oh boy, I hope the customer's nowhere near me. Or mind you, I've done it in empty houses, but then I guess it doesn't matter as far as that goes. But you know, it is something that has an odor, and it is quite a noxious odor. People recognize what it is pretty quick, and it is a toxin. So anyway, I was doing some experimenting with it for the last few months, and I just thought, this just doesn't work that great compared to what I would normally use. I've been using a couple of different pre-sprays as my pre-treatment on most stains that I come across lately. The Before product and the Esteem Suspend, and they both work really well without an odor, and they're compatible with the cleaning product. You know, the only thing the ammonia is doing is increasing your pH. It doesn't have any. I don't think it really actually has any surfactant ability to it. Whereas the pre-sprays are actually basically a straight surfactant, so they're lowering the surface tension, and they do increase the pH, but not all that much. I think I believe the Suspend one is pH is 9.1, which isn't really that high. But mind you, every number above the one before is 10 times the previous one, so 7 is neutral, 8 is 10 times 7, and 9 is 10 times the 8. So it is actually it multiplies in power quite dramatically, and you need to understand that, I think. But anyway, my point is that the ammonia didn't impress me, and as far as the cost of it, using it, if the Suspend product, which I can't remember what I paid for it, I think it was like $30 or $35 a gallon. But if it was $50 a gallon, and you use it at 3 ounces per gallon, that's like 40 cents. Or no, 40 cents. 40 cents worth. No, $1.40. $1.20. 80. Yeah, $1.20 for a gallon. That's nothing. I mean, really. What is a gallon? I mean, a gallon of ammonia is going to cost you about that much, and you're going to use the whole gallon. So, or well, I've seen somebody putting a whole gallon into a pre-spray can, and that's an awful lot of product. But anyway, you're not really saving anything, is what I'm trying to say, and I just don't think it works that great. That's been my observation anyway. It does work well for certain things, but then I'll tell you what does work well in those circumstances. What would have worked on that one stain that I took out with the ammonia would have almost certainly worked really well would be, believe it or not, Windex. But Windex has at least some ammonia in it. I don't know how much exactly, but I don't find it smells strongly of ammonia, but it does have some ammonia in it. Plus it has surfactants, so it actually is more effective than if you were just using straight ammonia. But when I've used it, I would normally apply it and then extract it out. But it does work really well on ink, really well in ink. That was my first exposure to it when my buddy Paul, Washington Pro, or Pro Carpet Cleaning, had posted a video about taking out a horrendous Bic ballpoint pen ink stain. Took it all out with ammonia, or with Windex, and that was I was shocked to see how well it worked. And then I went and got some, and I started fiddling around with it, and it certainly, wow, does it ever work? But anyway, that's my rant for the day, I guess. I'm not angry at people for using ammonia. I've seen comments where people say that, you know, the people get angry for using ammonia. I'm not angry. I don't. Whatever you use is your business. But wow, it's harmful to you over time. That's why it's not recommended to be exposing yourself to it every single day. It's a bad thing. That's not being angry. That's saying, hey, buddy, care about yourself and care about your customers, and you know that even the kids and the pets get exposed to it. Not a good idea. But anyway, so let's switch over to the Iron Man. Oh, I'll show you the teeth on this thing. That's what it looks like. They have real definite hooks on them, but I find that they don't last very long. So that's one reason why I had switched over to the Malish when I'm made up, because these teeth start to break off within a few months, actually. So you know, the other thing I noticed when I've seen a video of people using ammonia is how much they put on. It's quite shocking, actually. They go and soak a spot, and then come back and soak it some more, and then come back again and just keep soaking it. It's like, wow, putting that much on, it clearly doesn't work that great. When I use my pre-spray on a stain, I'll just, you know, like say that spot right there, which is actually a tomato stain. I'll be hitting a proxy again, but I'm going to put some Omega on there now. So I would normally go about, you know, like that. It's just enough to get it on there, and then I go over with the machine and work it in. You don't need to saturate the stain normally. But I'll be having to put some more proxy on that tomato stain to deal with it before I'm done. So this really grubby area here is looking good. So I'll move that desk over. I did a very big job this morning. Almost $2,000 worth area rugs, 5 wool and viscose blend rugs. they were cleanable in this case. Sometimes they aren't. Actually, it was interesting. One of them, the lady said she'd had it cleaned by the local, there's an area road cleaning plant here, and she said when she got it back, it had gone all misshapen. The edge was no longer straight, it was all wavy, because of course they would have immersion cleaned it, and so it came back different than when it left. So that's not good. But anyway, I believe we have an olefin on cleaning, right, by the way, in case you're wondering. I think I mentioned that, I can't remember now. But really overall not a bad shape, really. And the house is going on the market. I think the person that was living here has either gone to a care facility or elsewhere. This is a gated community. Kind of one of those heaven's waiting room areas. Probably the average age of people in this community, probably in their 80s, I would guess. 70s at least. I think you have to be 65 to be in here. I think, I'm not sure. Okay. I'll just work my way out the door, and then I'll do my post grooming, and I'll post treat that tomato stain, which is underneath the dresser now. And then I'll be done. Okay. All right. So thank you for watching, and have a good day.